an ageing community. The Fraser Coast population is represented by a higher percentage of people aged 50 years plus, and this sat around 47% of the population in 2016 and is forecasted to grow to at least 49% by the year 2041. We are living longer, and the local area has a very high representation of people aged 85 years plus, including those who are reaching 100 years and over. This age group is expected to double in that time frame from 2.9 to 4.1%. So, yes, the Fraser Coast is an ageing community, and we need to identify and address the pros and cons of an ageing community and plan for the changes required to meet the needs of these people. Taking into account the differing outlooks, their achievements and expectations of the various age groups within the range of ages. We also have a large number of senior residents in the Fraser Coast who have migrated here from other states. And with that, they've also left behind them families and friends. So isolation can become a big issue for them, especially if one of the other partners is lost out of the situation for whatever reason. If they haven't already created these important community connections, then it is much, much harder for them to do this when a loss is experienced. Social isolation then becomes a major issue, and so does dealing with the simple things such as completing paperwork, dealing with medical issues, and seeking assistance in other areas of everyday life. Grief is also a major concern for many, and this is not only includes the passing of a loved one, but also making the hard decisions when one of the partners or both need to enter into care. The partner is lost in another way, bringing with it other responsibilities and sometimes guilt. They are grieving a loss of independence, and this can sometimes be the hardest thing to deal with. We add to all of this the pandemic, and isolation becomes an issue for us all. For seniors though, it is harder, as they are vulnerable and less likely to be utilising technology to stay connected with family and friends. We have phones, you say, and yes, these are important ways of staying connected, but it's only audible. And contact needs to be, on occasions, visible and physical. Who throughout this pandemic has been missing a cuddle or some kind of human touch? Identified under the current social plan are 4 different major themes. One is promoting and supporting active ageing within the community, recognising and utilising the skills and talents of older members of the community, promoting ageing in place, and social isolation. How do we address this? There's been a number of projects that have been identified as possibilities of addressing some of these issues, and they include the creation of a website where local organisations can access to promote their programs and activities, and the general public, in particular seniors, can access as well to find out what's going on around town. We're already aware that there are a number of other sources trying to do this, so the hope is to bring all those sources together and make a united front with one contact for everyone. Access to the internet is another project, and the group are looking at ways of raising funds or gaining funding to create projects where isolated seniors and seniors in general can learn about using tablets and the internet, and in particular your social connection programs that have all become prevalent throughout the pandemic. A skills exchange is the third project, where we're hoping to encourage local organisations to promote skill exchange workshops, programs, and on occasions this is hoped that this will be intergenerational, where the young are learning from the old and the old are learning from the young. A buddy system is our fourth project. This is a system that was trialled a number of years ago and was very successful. But due to funding, it ceased and fell apart because the volunteers required some support. So the idea is to bring together a volunteer buddy with an individual who can then support them to make that first and initial important contact with organisations and activities, and then support them until they're integrated into that group. They can also help them with their transport and other linkages in order to keep them involved. The last thing is looking at IT and scams, creating some workshops that increase the knowledge, experience and awareness of our seniors so that they too can stay connected. Where to from here? Continued conversation to identify stakeholders and community partnerships, sourcing funding opportunities, identify what strategies may be implemented, and continue to identify the challenges that face us every day and to address these through this reference group. Thank you.